Hi, Michelle.
Hi.
How are you doing?
Good, how are you?
Good. So as you reflect back on the lesson that I observed you teaching, how do you feel it went?
So, as I reflect back, I'm definitely thinking about the difference of background knowledge between Jack and Kaylee. I felt that Kaylee was able to make more connections using her background knowledge compared to Jack. For example, when we were talking about the word goody two shoes, Jack said, I kind of heard it before, but he was very hesitant. He didn't know the meaning of that. So I'm reflecting back on that part of the lesson.
Mm-hmm. Did the chart that I set up, did that help you?
It did help me because I was able to see what areas they were able to do with guidance compared to staying on topic as well. So based on your chart, I noticed that all of their responses were on topic, but that each of them needed to be guided through different parts.
Okay.
So Jack needed to be guided
through
his background knowledge, whereas Kaylee needed to be guided through using the clues to connect to her background knowledge.
Was there anything that I could have fixed or
I think
would have made it better, easier for you?
The data that you collected really did help me.
Okay.
So I feel that was helpful because now I can see exactly what areas I want to continue working on with each 2T.
Okay. How did you feel about I know you were concerned about the timing.
Mm-hmm.
How did you feel about your timing of each segment? You know, the before reading, during reading, after reading.
I do think that my before reading went a little bit over as I was talking about the different examples of background knowledge. I wanted to make sure that they understood where background knowledge comes from as well as text clues and using even picture clues to help them.
Mm-hmm.
So I think in that area I did run over a little bit. I thought the during reading was appropriate time.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually had changed my original plan for the after reading section, and I cut that down to just having them tell me how did the background knowledge and text clues help them make an inference. So instead of doing what I had originally planned, I cut
Mm-hmm.
that time short, and I was able to see that Kaylee noted, because we read and underlined the important stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And Jack noted text evidence.
Okay.
So I think that cutting back that after reading worked out better because I was able to see exactly what they got out of it through just that brief question.
Was there something before reading where from what I hear you saying is that you felt you went a little over?
Mm-hmm.
Could you maybe explain a little what you would do next time?
Mm-hmm.
I guess to maybe.
Sure, absolutely. I think that when I'm doing them before reading, I want to make sure that I'm providing more examples from my personal background knowledge instead of just trying to give other examples that they might not be comfortable with yet exploring, and then I could give one example, then they could give an example. Each of them could give an example. So I think that would be more targeted to them before reading.
So the importance of activating that background knowledge. And what were some ways that maybe you could do that?
So I did do the silhouette, which I found that they definitely enjoyed doing. And they were able to also show their differing views of their own background knowledge. So that helped me to see what background knowledge they had about the character. But I also liked when Jack knew Buzz Lightyear, but he couldn't think of it. He was thinking about the other evil character, and then he worked through it. So that was also a great opportunity for using metacognitive strategies because he had to really think about what was in front of him. So I thought that definitely was helpful for them, using the silhouettes. But I think the most important part is I have to make sure I'm providing those examples. I could have them written on the board, and that way it's already up there, and then I can just refer to it, and they can also look back at it as well, so that beyond our conversation, they can still look at the board as other examples.
And you had said using or providing more examples, of teacher examples. I think you said
Yes,
personal examples. What would some of those look like? Could you think of a specific time during the lesson you would have?
So during the reading part, when we came to the goody two shoes, I could tell them about a personal example or a story that I experienced when I was in middle school about a girl who was always doing everything right. She never broke the rules, which isn't a bad thing. Leading up to them to think about, okay, I think I've seen somebody like that in my class before, my friend is that way, but also getting them to understand it's not nice to call somebody that.
Okay. And as you think about the goals of this lesson, what can you say about your 2T's achievement of them? We've kind of already touched on that a bit, but I guess just overall.
I think overall I'm seeing that they were able to achieve the goal with guidance. I think that they're not at the independent stage yet, but that definitely with guidance they were able to work through using the background knowledge and the text clues.
Okay, I guess from here my last question would be, how are you preparing to kind of get them from that guidance that they needed to kind of weaning them
That's a great question.
off of that guidance?
I think what I need to do is work on more metacognitive strategies.
And I see you have a ton of different anchor charts.
That they can start to think about beyond that simple question, and how can I think about my thinking out loud?
Okay.
How can I help myself?
Okay. All right. Well, can I help you with anything else?
No. Everything that you did was great. It really helped me to plan my future lesson. So thank you for all of your help.
Okay. No problem.
All right. Thank you.